Hi everybody, we are live again here at First Street Pets. We are going to do a doodle groom today. This is my girl Maya. As they say, or I don't know if people still say this, but the cobbler's children's shoes are the last to be mended. I don't know if people really mend shoes anymore, but she's my dog, and so she's the last one to get groomed after all the clients' dogs. She's a 3-year-old Bernedoodle, and I've kind of let her hair grow out this winter. I usually don't let it get this long. Normally I keep her between 3/4 of an inch and an inch because that's fluffy and looks cute, but it's not like crazy long hair like it is now. You can see like her legs are super fluffy. So I'm also trying out a new clipper, which is from this company, One Is All. This is not a sponsored video. I did actually have to buy this, but I will put an Amazon link in the description should you wish to get one for yourself. I'm giving this a try. This one is supposed to be good for thick coats, and the equipment that I use costs hundreds of dollars, and so I'm trying to find things I can recommend if you want to groom your dog at home, whether on the regular or between visits to the professional groomer. So this one, I like it because it has this sort of adjustment where you can adjust the blade to be a little shorter or longer. Comes with a bunch of comb attachments for different lengths, which we'll be using today. And it also shows you how much the battery is charged, which is helpful. Because I have other ones, even the really expensive ones, that'll just crap out on me in the middle of the day because I forgot to plug it in. So anyway, I just spent about the last 2 hours getting Maya ready for this. So there's a lot of prep and grooming. Sometimes clients will say, well, you just shaved my dog, or people will complain on the internet, they just shaved my dog. Well, there's a lot that leads up to just shaving a dog. I had to bathe her twice because she's pretty dirty and comb her all out, completely out, because if you can't get a comb through the hair, the clipper won't go through it either, whether it's short, long, or in between. They have to be completely combed out. This is one of my secret weapons. I will also put a link in the description once I'm done and the video is uploaded on my channel. So I would recommend you subscribe to my channel. You can get all this info later at your convenience. I will give you an Amazon link and they'll send me like 8 cents. But you can also get this on Chewy or at any feed store. If you have a horse or farm animals like Tractor Supply, any of those places, you can usually pick this up there. There's other brands. This is just what I use because I have horses. So it's inexpensive. Basically, you can use this while grooming, but I also tell my clients to use it between grooming, just like spritz the dog and comb it out. Hi, Maya. It doesn't need to be rinsed out. Okay, so without further ado, let's try out the new clipper. So I'm going to get some length down on Maya's body. I'm going to get her body length down to 3/4 of an inch and then scissor trim it. So this clipper comes with these nifty comb attachments. Let's see how we do. All right, Maya, you ready? Let's see if I can get her where you can actually see what the clipper is doing. Here, Maya, turn around. Turn around. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. Stand up. Let's see. All right. You can see her herself. She's also got a little paint on her. I've been having my house painted, and I've been really careful to keep them away from it. But she did get primered a little bit. So, all right. Let's give it a whirl. Oh, so far so good. Seems to be coming right off. So where I start clipping on a dog just kind of varies depending on what I'm doing. When I am trimming for clients, I use a clipper vac. I'm not using it in this video because I'm working with this different clipper, and also it's extremely loud. So I will make some videos with that later, but I'm going to have to, I don't know, mute it out or something. Anyway, so far this is working really well. It's cutting right through, and this dog has super thick hair. Okay, her hair is very thick. I'm just getting up around her head and neck. Nice. You can kind of go straight down on the back like this. This is working really well for something you can buy and use at home. It's pretty inexpensive. Pretty cool. All right, I'm going to lift her up a little bit. Now you want to go either with or against the grain. For this case, especially when they're super long and for various other reasons I won't get into today, we're going with the grain. So for the back, I can go this way. For the side, you see it's kind of going this way. If I just go any old way, it's going to look really choppy. It'll be done, but it won't look good. So we're going to kind of go like that. Get some of that length off. All right, that's working pretty well. So far, so good. All right, I'm going to get up here around her shoulder area. So the reason for using the clipper, even if you want a long style, is that some people will hand scissor, like if you're at a show or something, sure, people will hand scissor the whole dog. And that's really nice and that's next level. But most people want their dog trimmed as a pet. You know, they're not going to dog shows, they're not entering competitions. And so it's a lot. I mean, she's already been standing for 2 hours. We took a break. I was going to eat my lunch, but DoorDash brought me someone else's lunch, and unfortunately, it wasn't something I wanted to eat, so I did not eat it. So I'm waiting for the correct lunch, which means I'll probably get interrupted here in a minute. So if you see it hanging up a little bit there, that's because I didn't do a perfect job of getting all the tangles out. I did comb her out all over. And you see I'm leaving the lower leg. I'm going to clip that a little bit longer length. But I'm going to get this up here. Yeah, this is working really, really well. Okay, so getting up front here. And then when I get, this is a tricky part, but I kind of go at an angle like that to underneath. And if you stick around till the end, I'll show you a couple of tricks, including one about how to trim the undercarriage. We'll get to that a little bit later in the process. But for now, we're just clipping like the parts that you can see, like that. And again, I'll show you a little hack that I have for doing the undercarriage. All right, Maya, you're looking good. Look at all this hair that's off of Maya. All right, let's turn around. Go see all your fans on YouTube. Okay, say hi, Maya, to your YouTube friends. Maya's 3 years old, and she's my baby. I've always been a rescue person, so this is the first time I ever actually bought a dog, so don't judge me, or judge me if you want. It's up to you. It was a good experience, though, because I learned a lot. There's a lot of scams around puppies, and there's a lot of breeders like thinking they can make a lot of money with these dogs, and so they end up in shelters. Having a lot of dogs is not cheap. Breeding dogs is not cheap. So anyway, I also made a video about that, about buying a puppy, because that was not something I had ever done in my life. They've always just found me, like literally followed me home, or I got them from a shelter or rescue, or somebody else couldn't keep them, because everyone knows I'm a sucker, right? Okay, so I'm going to lift her up a little bit so I can get up under her neck. Right. So you can see, this part is actually already shorter. That's one of my tricks. This was matted last time I groomed her, so I just went shorter with it. So we're just going to do this part around the neck. And again, oops, the guard comb just fell off, so that's the groomer's worst nightmare. If it falls off and you keep clipping, that hair is going to be super short. So something to be aware of if you're using a clipper like this. As I mentioned, when I'm working for my clients, I use a clipper vac, which is a complicated setup with, it attaches to a shop vac and sucks all the hair out and does some other things. That keeps the clipper blade cool. These clipper blades thank you.
This put in here?
Yes, thank you.
In the here?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
All right. It's a little bit warm right now, which isn't too bad, but these can get blazing hot when you use them. So if you were clipping short without a guard, you could easily burn the dog. So if you're not using clipper back, you want to have a guard comb on, and if you're not using a guard comb, you want to check it with your hand like literally every couple of minutes. There are sprays that are supposed to make it cooler, but they don't work. I'm sorry. All right, so let's get back to it. So again, we're going to leave her. Actually, I think I can just take that off. She's not going anywhere. So I'm really happy with the way this clipper is just gliding through the hair. Super easy. But as I mentioned, I did a lot of prep. So it's not going to be like this if you just grab your dog and start clipping. You have to wash them. You have to blow dry them. If you let them dry naturally, I mean, that's fine from day to day, but if you just let them air dry and don't use a force dryer like I do, the hair will not stand out. Like, it'll curl up, it'll be kinky, and if there's any matting, Haku. Hang on, Maya. They delivered the correct lunch and my other dog was about to run off with it. So come here, Maya, we gotta finish your video. Alright, so we're clipping on this side. And again, I'm gonna go with the grain. So we're at a little bit of an angle here. Now you'll notice I hold this clipper all kind of different ways. I was trained to groom by a mentor, and she showed me the way she does things. And she was also trained by a mentor. So the cool thing about learning like that is basically, I don't want to say there are no rules, but you get to decide what works for you. Because if you go to a grooming school or look in a book, they're going to say you have to clip this way. You have to hold the clipper this way. You don't. You can hold it any way you want.
Okay.
Hi there.
Hi.
Can I help you?
Holly's got an appointment, 12:45.
I think you're at the wrong place. I don't have an appointment for you today. You sure you're not for Cynthia's?
No.
Okay, yeah, I don't have an appointment for you today. Sorry. All right. Oops. Someone thought they had an appointment today. I feel bad, but hopefully they'll come back later. Alright, so where were we? So I don't know if you can see on the video. Let's see. Your daughter grooms your Shih Tzu. Oh, cool. Does she groom at home or is she a professional groomer? Let me see. I'm trying to reply to these comments in a timely manner. It's for Kathy Doherty. Does your daughter groom at home or is she a professional groomer? Alright, so I'm going down the back legs a little bit. And the side, just like we did before. I guess I could move the camera too. I mean, it is just on a tripod. Okay, come here, Maya. There you go. I also have this nifty hydraulic table that makes my life so much easier. It really preserves my back. So again, just clipping down to the parts that we can see. And if you see, I'm trying to go with the shape of her body. If I scoop or go straight, it's going to make marks. It's not going to look good. So it's really important if you're clipping the sides like that, that you're going with the shape of the body. You're not just chopping away any old direction, because that won't look good. All right, it's looking good. Work a little bit on the back leg here. And the tail, around her butt. Now I'll probably trim shorter around the butt and the privates and in my finish work, but for now, I'm just taking some of this bulk off. All right, looking good, Maya. Well, I think we got most of our stuff done. I'm giving this clipper an A+. Someone says, how are you? Oh, she's self-taught at home. Yeah, see, the cool thing about today's world is there's so much out there. Those schools cost thousands of dollars. And I'm not knocking them. I'm sure they're great, but not everybody can afford that to pay for the schools or to travel to the schools. You can get everything on the internet now. And here's lots of hair. Oh, this is one cool thing when I use clipper vac. It sucks up all the hair, but when you're just using a regular clipper, you have to kind of clean up as you go. So yeah, there's a lot available for people to learn, or just YouTube. I mean, you have to, of course, like with everything else on the internet, you have to use your judgment because some things may resonate with you or seem better or safer than others. And of course, I think what's most important about dog handling and cat handling, for the love of God, but dogs too, is understanding their behavior. Because when I train staff, I have 2 fantastic staff right now. I didn't require that they know how to do any grooming. They just had to be good with animals and have some experience with animals. Because if you don't have that connection with animals, you can't be successful in grooming. Like, they're not units, they're not objects. You have to understand why they do what they do, how to work with them when they're anxious. She's totally chill because she's my dog and she's a chill dog. But I'll do some more live streams later as I get more into this and I get permission from the owners for dogs that are more anxious, more fearful. And I'll show you some of the things that I do to work with that. All right, so now I'm gonna set a length on their legs. And these legs are next level. Oh my God. Now, if I had all day, I could sit here and scissor trim these legs, but I actually do have an appointment at 2 o'clock, so we kind of got to get this done. And I still have to eat my lunch because it was late. All right, so this is a 1 inch. So we're gonna take some length off of these legs. Let's see if we can see your legs. All right. For Maya, so I'm just gonna take some length off of the legs. I don't know if you can see the difference in the video, but just get some down a little shorter. And I'm gonna finish it with the shears. But it's just taking a lot of that excess length off. And again, this it wouldn't be this easy if I hadn't done all the prep that I did. It was a lot of prep for this groom today. A lot of prep. Washing, drying, spraying with detangler, combing, lots of combing. Dear God, the combing. Because you see, this is basically a comb. A clipper is a comb. So if you can't comb through the hair, you can't clip it. So don't try to clip your dog when they're dirty or matted. If they're really anxious or really matted, just go to a professional groomer. See, it's catching there because I think I didn't do a great job of getting all the tangles out. Now she looks like she has little boots on. Maya, where are you going? See, she's trying to scooch away from me. Come on, Maya. Let's get this done. Let's get her done. Then we can eat our lunch, huh? So, again, there's a little bit of resistance in there. I got some stuff to work on in there. I didn't do a perfect job of getting all those tangles out. And I'm just going to take off some of this length. Look at those feet. They're like dinner plates. And she's not even that huge of a doodle. She's like 70 pounds now. I have groomed ones up to 100 pounds, and that's quite something. We have these 2 Pyrenees that we groom that are adorable, and their names are Ava and Jaja. And Ava is about 125 pounds. Alright. So I think I'm going to have to scissor trim or use a shorter length to get some of this stuff where I didn't do the best job of prepping. See, if you don't prep, you can't clip it. Alright, let's get this leg here. Ready, Maya? Alright, oh, that's just coming right off. I'm liking this clipper. This is a company, as I said, this is not a sponsored video. I did actually have to buy this unit. But this is a company that I might actually talk to about sponsorship because I really do like their products for home use or light use. I actually started with their products when I bought, see we got some tangles there again. Bridget did not do a great job of prepping. Well, I think I did a good job, but not a perfect job. So we got some work to do here on the bottom. I bought this just for fun. I bought this clipper. It was like 17 bucks. See if I get, looks like sheep shearing. Yes, exactly. I had one the other day that hadn't been groomed in a year. And I didn't realize it had been that long because the dog's name is Osito, and I have like 5 clients with I have a lot of Ositos, Bellas. There's a lot of popular names these days. So I didn't realize until I looked in my schedule I hadn't seen this dog for a year. Oh my goodness, that was bad. That literally was like a sheep that just came off all in one piece. But we got it done. So anyway, this was like 17 bucks, and I thought just for fun, I'm gonna buy this because even if I hate it, I only spent 17 bucks. And this is also one is all, but it works really well. I use it for like cleaning up around the eyes or the paw pads because it's light and it's quiet, which I like. Otherwise, I was using the big Andis or whatever it is I have that's more industrial strength, but it's loud and sometimes it scares the dogs and it's big having it near their face. So anyway, let's see. Do I cut the hair from the lip area? So yes, I do scissor trim the face, but I don't shave the lips. This area tends to get super dirty, as you'll know if you have a dog with long hair or a doodle type dog. Because that's where they put their face into the food and water bowl. Alright, we're just getting the rest of this hair off the legs. And again, kind of getting stuck in there, so I need to either scissor trim that or clip it shorter. Let's get these little paws down. And again, you see how I'm going with the shape of the foot. If I'm just chopping away at it, it's not going to look great. All right, Maya, you're looking good so far. You're looking pretty good. Let's stand up, show all your fans how you're doing. Oh, we got to do your back legs too. Shih Tzus, yes. And some people do ask for me to trim the face very short. Many people like what we call the bobblehead, which is like a big round face, kind of like her. I mean, hers is messy, but that's how it'll look when we're done. It's more round. But some people like it really a lot shorter because the dog lives in the country and gets a bunch of crap in his face. And so anyway, okay, now let's work on the back legs. So let's see, we can get where you can see. Okay, here's her back leg. So again, just gonna take off some of that length with the clipper with the 1-inch guard comb. And just take it all off. It's looking good. Looking good. Alright. This part here is also still slightly damp. And that's another thing when you're grooming. They have to be 100% clean, combed out, and dry. If there's the slightest bit of dampness, it will not work. Will not clip. It'll just get hung up in there. And again, like I was saying, I hold these clippers all kinds of different ways. See, still damp there. So when you're self-taught or you study with a mentor, like you're not going to a grooming school, you can hold the equipment however it works for you. And see, that's hanging up there. I need to work on that a little bit more. It's a little bit damp. You can hold it, and I tend to hold it different ways depending on what I'm doing, because I want to be comfortable. I mean, this is what I do for a living, so it's really easy to get sore, to hurt yourself. Alright. Okay, so we're just getting that bolt off the legs. Right here. Okay, I'm going to get some of these feet. The feet. This took a lot of combing, let me tell you. I have horses, and Maya and my other dog, they love to go to the horses. Oh, you don't like that. They run around in the mud. We go down to the river. Oops. Switch it off. She's definitely not a house dog. I mean, she is a house dog, but we get dirty. Let's just put it that way. Alright, she's looking pretty good so far. Let's tidy up a little bit here. What you doing, Maya? Maya, are you happy? Yeah, I'm going to see your other side. Alright, let's see this side. And I don't know if you can see, but I have these things here. These are quick releases. Again, as a horse person, I don't know if other groomers have these, but sometimes dogs will freak out on the table. And I bought these after I had a husky that weighed about 70 pounds just drop her weight down and start choking herself. And I couldn't get her up. I couldn't get her off the table. I was lifting her with one arm and trying to unhook something like this with my other hand while in a panic, and could have seriously hurt myself and the dog. So after that, I went ahead and bought these. So watch, you can hook whatever you want to them, these loops or whatever. I also I got rid of the metal loops I had and bought plastic ones because I can cut them in an emergency. Again, that's a horse thing. You want to get them out of the emergency. So if the animal freaks out, all you do is pull on that and it comes right off. These are called panic snaps. It's a horse thing. Pretty cool. Anyway, just one of the things that I do that might be different from other groomers. Maya, I think you just turned around and I need your other side. Okay, so come here. Let me get, you're looking a little shaggy on this leg. Let's get this one done. Okay, so again, we got the 1-inch guard comb. I'm just taking some bulk off that leg. Oops. That's another thing you have to be careful of. If you didn't comb all the way out or it's still a little damp, that guard comb can catch on and pop off like it just did a minute ago. So you got to watch that. If there's any resistance, pushing will just make it worse. So yep, it's just like shearing a sheep, like a big black sheep, which is Maya. Oops. Well, it's done now. And if it hangs up, you don't want to push. It should go through like the proverbial knife through butter. And if it doesn't, it's because there's a tangle that you need to work out. So, all right, I think we got most of the fur off the legs. Let's see if we got some comments. Yes, quick release. I saved thousands by doing it myself instead of a groomer with 20 dogs. Yeah, I can imagine with 20 dogs. And you've had up to 18. Wow. Let's see. You've had up to 18 at a time. Yeah, you certainly can save a lot of money. For dogs like this, I charge up to $200 for a full grooming. I mean, it's worth it because it's hours of work, but it may not be in someone's budget. They might not be able to afford that. So that's why it's good to know how to do at least basic grooming in between. It doesn't have to look like a show dog. All right, so now I'm going to clip this blade. It doesn't feel hot, so I'm going to set it to the longer setting and just clip a little bit kind of under the legs where there's a little bit of matted hair. So you probably can't see this on the camera, but now this is one of my hacks. I cut the hair short where you can't see it because all this hair does under the belly and the groin and everything is get matted. So you can see right here, I'm going to neaten this up in a minute, it's a mess, but basically the hair is long to here, and then the part you don't see is short. Because no one needs that much hair under their belly. So if I had my other clippers with the changeable blades, I would be using a number 4 blade. But for this unit, I've just got it set on the longest setting, which I'm not exactly sure how long that is. It's probably more like 10. It's pretty short. But again, I'm just trimming up the area that nobody sees. There's all that little hair that tangles up around the belly, around the privates. Sometimes they get urine up around the private, so you have to be careful about that. All right, let's turn around, Maya. Turn around. Let me see your other leg. Say hi to your YouTube friend. Dude. Yeah, you can see her black and tan face. He's mountain dog, Doodle. How long have I been grooming? 3 years. I have been grooming for 3 years. So again, I'm getting up under the leg, under the belly. Clip this hair short, nice and short, because nobody needs that much hair on the belly. All right. So what are we gonna do now, Maya? Looks like, yeah, looks like I'm milking the dog. It's not easy. That's why I have this hydraulic table is nice, goes up and down. And I have different techniques for every kind of dog. Little dogs are pretty easy because you can just lift them up. Like a 10-pound dog, you can lift them up by the front legs, let them put their front feet, clip the belly and everything, put them back down again. 70 pounds, not so much. You kind of got to get up under there, clip, see what you're doing from different angles. All right, so what I'm going to do now is start working on her feet because I don't need this much hair on the feet, and there were a couple areas that didn't clip well because it was still tangled. So I have a few different kinds of shears that I use. These are called chunkers. You can see the lines in between them. There's a hair stuck in there. These are nice for taking off large amounts of hair without leaving a scissor mark. Let's see, I'm not sure if I can do that much at once. All right, there we go. So you can, now I don't recommend using stuff like this at home without training because you can seriously injure the dog and yourself. Ask me how I know. I've got a box of Band-Aids over there and it's not for the dogs. You have to know exactly how to hold these, where to use them. So this isn't, shears are not something that I recommend for at-home use. Use your clippers, get the hair down. But shears are a whole different story. Maya. Alright, I'm just getting off all that hair that I didn't get with the clippers because it was still a little dirty and matted. Look at those feet she has. Look at those big feet. Alright, so we'll do the same thing on the back. I tend to trim the hair short, not like super short, but short on the backs of their feet because they don't need to be, all they do is get it dirty. I washed this twice and it's still dirty. In fact, I think I'm going to clip it. Let's see, I'm going to try one of the shorter guard combs just to get some of that hair. No one needs this much hair on the back of their foot. You can see what I'm doing here. And again, I'm not pushing hard. If it's giving me resistance, I just stop and back up. Because even though I washed the feet twice, like, they're really dirty. So sometimes when the fur is this long, it's hard to get some of that stuff out from underneath. Alright, that's better. So you can see I've gotten a lot of that off just the bottom of the foot. I'll do it on the other back foot as well. Okay, hold still, Maya. I got you. I got you. You gotta move your tail, though. Can't see what I'm doing here. Alright. So we got a lot of that hair off there. And now we can trim the rest of the foot with the shears. Let's see. That's my dog. Thanks for the information. You have a hard time cutting nails. Yes, that's a whole other topic. I should really do another live stream on nail trimming. The interesting thing about nail trimming is that it's, for some reason, it's always easier when someone else does it. It's like people come and say that all the time, that their dog is like really bad for nail trimming and they can't do it and they're just freaking out. And then they come here and they're fine. Or, you know, or they're no more resistant than any other dog. So I think the key is like being confident and knowing what you're doing and having the proper equipment. Like just having them up on this table where they're at my level makes it easier. Maya, are you tired of this? Are you gonna sit down? Alright, let's get some of this done here. Alright, let's work on this foot a little bit. So yeah, nail trimming is a whole other subject. I probably should do a video on that. And what happens sometimes is that people, maybe they accidentally clipped their dog one time, so they're nervous about it. And then that makes them continue to be nervous every time they start to trim. And the dog picks up on that. And so it's really hard to move forward from there because now you're going to be nervous every time. Are you tired of that, Maya? All right, let's work on your other foot. Here, stand up. Let's face the camera. Come on, show them your cute face. All right. So if I do every little step of this, it's going to be an arduously long video. So you guys who are watching, tell me, what do you want to see me do? You want me to do the nails? Do you want me to do the face? Should I show you how I trim her cute little face? Or neaten up on the body some more? Let me know. And that's what we'll do. Thank goodness the sharpener's coming tomorrow, because these curved shears take a beating with the doodles, because that's what we use a lot on the doodles. All right, we got three. Oh, we got a bunch of votes for face. Okay, Maya, we're gonna do your face. Okay. So like with the body, there's a few steps, and this is how I teach my staff. There's like a list of things you want to do. The first thing I do with doodles is we play a game called Where Are Your Eyes? Okay, they're in there, but they're hard to find. So there's a couple ways to trim the eyes, and one is using that little clipper that I have, and I really like this. You can safely use these at home as long as you're careful. The thing is, you see where the blade is, you don't put it straight at, I mean, you can practice on your own self. You don't put it straight, you put it always flat. Flat. I mean, if you're a man and you use a beard trimmer, or you're a lady and you have an underarm trimmer, like, you know what I'm talking about. You don't dig it into your skin, you put it flat, and then you don't nick the dog. So this is a quick way to do the eyes. So we're basically just carefully removing some of the hair around the eyes. And I'm not pushing down really hard because I don't want her, this is a really short blade, I don't want her to look bald. But you see, now there's her eyes, okay? All right. And then we got the cheeks and the muzzle and then the top of the head. So I think what we're gonna do is start by setting a length on the top of the head. So just like with the body, we can set a length with these clippers. You generally want the head to be longer than the body and the legs. So I'm going to do 1 inch, which is what I did on the legs. If you leave it too long on the head, it starts to look shaggy like it does now, and that doesn't look great. So I usually start right in the middle, just go right back. Again, following the curve of the skull. Just like with the body, you're going with the curve of the shape. Okay, then you can come down here to the cheek, because we don't need that much cheek either. Neaten that up like that, see? Okay, and I'll come down a little bit over the ear too, because there's plenty of ear hair, but I'm just kind of neatening it up a little bit, okay? And then, same thing on the other side, like that. Down the side, the cheek. And the ear knows she's leaning. She's like, no. Come on, Maya. She's tired. We'll wrap it up pretty soon and take our lunch break. All right, but that's kind of how we start. I usually don't use the clipper here because I don't think it looks good. But on the top of the head, it just kind of neatens up the hair, makes it all one length. All right, let's see if we can get a little closer to your cute face. All right, you don't really need to see my face. You can hear my voice. There's Maya's, her carita, as my colleague would call her. Your carita. Okay, ready? Okay, so we got the top of the head done. We got the eyes. She is sweet. Yes, she's very sweet. Okay, so now we're going to trim this part here. And you have to be careful because the lips are right there. So I always like to know where the body actually is. So like, there's her lip, and there's her lower lip. And I can also comb it. So make sure it's nice and clean. And now I kind of feel with my hand, so I remember this is where it is, and I'm just going to trim straight back. And I'm always watching where the tips are, because if I'm going like that, I could be cutting her in the lips. See how the tips were kind of sticking out there? Now it's not perfect, it never is the first time. And then I kind of neaten it up. And I can also trim the fur on the lower jaw like that. Okay, and now here's the tricky part. You never make it the same on both sides, no matter how hard you try. But I am going to try, like I do every time. Same thing over here. Just going to cut in a straight line. Someone is audibly farting. I think it's not me. Poor Maya. I know, you're being so good. So then I kind of look and I see how it's like really uneven here. So I'm just going to trim that and neaten that up. Okay. And then when you look at the dog's face, you want to see a round shape. So you see how right now it's still kind of blocky, but we're getting there, right? So just trimming a little up under the chin. All right. Just neaten this up. Okay, look down, Maya. Look at the camera. Do you see how I'm getting it a little bit neater, sort of all the way around? And then I'm going to trim a little bit of this here. Actually, I don't think it's gassing. I think my table is starting to sink down by itself. I think I need to get my hydraulic table service because it's making that weird sound. All right. And then we have different shears that are curved, so you can get that sort of round look. So I'm going to get right there in the face. Okay. Right, look at the camera. Come on, Maya. See? Groomers have different names for like the weird things that dogs do. I don't know if other groomers do this, but I call Maya a stargazer because every time I groom her, she goes like this. And then I push her head back down and then she... Okay, there we go. All right, I hope you're all still there. My phone just did something weird. So basically we use the curved shears to make the face look round. We've done the top of the head. And now we do what's called the visor, which is the hair that hangs down over the eyes, basically like bangs. So I just comb it down. And the chunk scissors are good for that too, or the thinning shears, because they give a more natural look. The straight shears tend to look like if a little kid cuts their bangs themselves. It doesn't look great. So we're going to do like that. And then just kind of neaten this up a little bit. She doesn't have quite such a giant mustache. All right. Maya. Yes, Maya is my dog. Full disclosure. And we're kind of practicing because I want to do some more live streams. These seem to be very popular. So I wanted to practice with a dog that I know how she will react. And then later it'll be more interesting to do live streams with maybe some dogs that are anxious or that we're not really sure how they're going to react. So, all right, Maya's getting tired. I think we're going to call it a day. Please subscribe to my channel, and you'll see this uploaded later once the live stream is over. And I will list the products and the tips that I have mentioned in this video for grooming at home. Who farted? Oh, nobody farted. I'm pretty sure it was the table because it kept making that noise. I think it was just my squeaky hydraulic table. All right, Maya says goodbye. Thank you for joining her live stream, and have a great day. Bye.